We've all been there, haven't we? That looming deadline that seems to get closer and closer. That project we've been putting off for weeks, maybe even months. Suddenly, the urge to reorganize our sock drawer or clean the entire house becomes overwhelmingly appealing. Procrastination, that sneaky saboteur of productivity, affects us all at some point or another. It's the art of delaying tasks, even when we know it's not in our best interest to do so. But why do we do it? What is it about procrastination that pulls us in? What compels us to choose Netflix or social media over that important presentation due tomorrow? The truth is, procrastination is more than just laziness or lack of motivation. It's a complex interplay of cognitive and emotional factors that often stem from our relationship with time, tasks, and even ourselves. It can be rooted in fear of failure, perfectionism, or even anxiety. In this exploration of procrastination's depths, we'll uncover the psychological underpinnings of this universal struggle and arm ourselves with practical strategies to break free from its grasp. We'll learn how to manage our time better and set realistic goals. So, buckle up, fellow procrastinators, as we embark on a journey to understand and conquer the procrastination plague once and for all. Imagine this. You have a big project due next week. The pressure is mounting and the clock is ticking. But hey, there's that new video game everyone's talking about. It's calling your name, promising hours of fun and excitement, and that delicious-looking cake recipe you've been meaning to try. The kitchen suddenly seems like the perfect escape. Suddenly cleaning the bathroom seems like a more appealing option than facing that looming deadline. Even chores become a welcome distraction. Welcome to the procrastination playground, where fun activities reign supreme and work takes a back seat. It's a place where distractions are endless. It's a tempting world filled with instant gratification, a siren song that lures us away from the less glamorous reality of responsibilities. Every notification, every bite, pulls us deeper. In the procrastination playground, our brains get hooked on the dopamine rush of immediate rewards. Checking social media, watching funny videos, and sharing memes, or indulging in a sugary treat. These activities trigger pleasure centers in our brains, making us crave more. The cycle is hard to break. Meanwhile, the thought of tackling that challenging task triggers feelings of stress, boredom, or anxiety. Emotions our brains are wired to avoid. It's a natural response. So we choose the path of least resistance, opting for the instant gratification of the playground over the potential discomfort of real work. It's a choice we make daily, often without realizing it. But the procrastination playground isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a place where time seems to slip away unnoticed. As the deadline inches closer, a familiar feeling begins to creep in: panic. The once distant deadline now feels like a ticking time bomb. The carefree atmosphere dissipates as the weight of the unfinished task presses down on us. Each passing minute feels heavier than the last. That's the panic monster rearing its ugly head, a formidable creature fueled by adrenaline and fear. It thrives on our anxiety and grows stronger with every tick of the clock. The closer we get to the deadline, the bigger and scarier the panic monster grows, until it's all we can think about. It consumes our thoughts and paralyzes our actions. The panic monster isn't all bad though. In its own terrifying way, it can be a powerful motivator, pushing us to our limits. In its own terrifying way, it can be a powerful motivator. The fear it instills can jolt us into action, forcing us to push aside distractions and finally focus on the task at hand. The fear it instills can jolt us into action, forcing us to push aside distractions and finally focus on the task at hand. It's a classic case of working best under pressure. But while the panic monster might help us meet the deadline, the quality of our work might suffer, and the experience leaves us feeling stressed and burnt out. But while the panic monster might help us meet the deadline, the quality of our work might suffer, and the experience leaves us feeling stressed and burnt out. The aftermath is often a mix of relief and exhaustion. It's a vicious cycle, and breaking free requires understanding the root causes of our procrastination tendencies. Only then can we hope to tame the panic monster for good. Our brains are wired for efficiency, always seeking the path of least resistance. So, when faced with a complex or challenging task, our brains often opt for immediate gratification over delayed rewards. This is where cognitive factors come into play, influencing our procrastination habits in subtle but powerful ways. One major culprit is a lack of clear goals. Without a well-defined objective, tasks can feel overwhelming and insurmountable, leading to avoidance. Similarly, poor time management skills can contribute to procrastination. Underestimating the time required for a task or failing to break down large projects into smaller, manageable steps can make it easier to push things aside. Our brains thrive on structure and clarity, and when these elements are missing, procrastination can quickly take root. We hope this video helped you understand the psychology of procrastination. Please consider liking and subscribing to the channel for more insightful content on psychology and self-improvement, and we will see you in the next video.